Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
The No Fate channel. Checking in. Jonathan here with a full, transparent, honest, and for the sake of not being sued, I will say alleged review and opinion of these MOTV8 Omnibells, these adjustable dumbbells, and we are gonna do it live. Do it live! Like everybody else reviewing these adjustable dumbbells on YouTube, yep, I got mine for free as well. Later in the video, I'm going to explain to you exactly where these broke on me and why I think that the design overall can't stand up to long-term abuse. But before I get into my alleged opinion of these MOTV8 dumbbells, I want to give you some backstory. If these adjustable dumbbells look familiar, that's because MOTV8 takes a ton of inspiration from nuobells. Those are dumbbells that have been on the market for a while. They tend to be quite popular. They go from 5 to 80 pounds in 5-pound increments, but they're known to break. Go figure. Also, MOTV8 has two other versions similar to these dumbbells. They're called the Pro version and the Deca version, and those are even more similar to the nuobells. How these MOTV8 Omnibells work: you put the handle in the dock and then you rotate the handle up or down to go anywhere from 11 pounds all the way up to 8 pounds in exceptionally small increments. Prior to this, their previous two versions of these similar style dumbbells had 5-pound jumps. These are exceptionally small jumps, literally a kilogram at a time. And for you Americans, that's like 2.2 pounds per twist. So the individual plates actually lock into one another at the top and the bottom, utilizing a plastic insertion piece, and the overall handle connects to all of those plates using an internal rod. So as you turn the handle to go up in weight, that rod extends further into the weight stack. In theory, it is a clever design feature, and it's pretty obvious why so many people have taken inspiration, allegedly, from those nuobells. And I'm gonna go over everything I love about these nuobells in order to kind of give you all the information, the full spectrum. I don't want you to think this is like a hit piece, even though the title might have inspired that. There is a lot to love about these, and I can see why so many people are drawn in to these actual adjustable dumbbells. As I already mentioned, there are plenty of weight options from 11 pounds all the way up to 80 pounds in 2.2-pound increments. So we'll talk about why that's also a negative, but for those of you that love to do those micro jumps in weight, that is a great feature. Also, they list the pounds and the kilograms. So if you're international and you go by kilograms, great, you know how much that is, and you can reference your training program so you know how much you're lifting and what you should be lifting. And if you love your freedom units like I do, you get the pounds as well. In terms of colors, we know, if you've watched this channel for any length of time, that I absolutely love having color options, whether that's for wall control, power racks, barbells, or adjustable dumbbells. And they've got 4 different color options that allow you to have a really aesthetic adjustable dumbbell. You can get all black, you can get all green, you can get them interchanged, and of course, you know I went with the red and black. Now, many adjustable dumbbells that don't meet the mustard tend to be exceptionally long and exceptionally wide. What's nice about these is, relatively speaking, for 80 pounds, you get a fairly short adjustable dumbbell. And if you only want to have 11 pounds on here, you don't have the full length of the adjustable dumbbell. It's even smaller. In terms of width, it's right around where you would find a typical urethane dumbbell to be, and it's absolutely makes you feel like you're lifting a regular dumbbell. They also provide knurling up here on the handle. Now, the knurling's not perfect, it's not like pristine, but it gets the job done, and it's got some nice grip. Also, the handle length, in terms of how much room they give you, seems for me to be just right. If you've got some bigger hands, you're still gonna be able to fit your hands in there, but some adjustable dumbbells have this really long handle, and it does make things to be fairly awkward and hard to balance. Is 80 pounds heavy enough for an adjustable dumbbell in a home gym? Well, YouTube tells me that 93% of you aren't even strong enough to hit that subscribe button. So I'm guessing 80 pounds in terms of weight will be plenty heavy for the majority of you watching today's video. From my limited use with these Omnibells, I did find them to have some fairly good balance. I also found them to be very natural in how they felt, and I didn't feel like they had a lot of jiggle or jangle. Typically with some adjustable dumbbells, when you go heavier, the more weight increments, the more tolerances you have to deal with, and that tends to give you more rattle, make them more noisy, and I didn't find that with these, again, from my limited use. And probably one of the biggest positives when it comes to these Omnibells is the cost. We all know money is the one major factor you're using to choose your home gym equipment. And these come in currently, as of today, $650. They're currently discounted, and I'm sure I may have an affiliate link code or whatever, but I think it's one of those things, they always keep the price high, run a discount so you feel like you're getting a deal, and boom, you're at $650. Now that's the same price as their Pro and their Deca, and it's right around the same price, at least as of today, for a pair of nuobells that go all the way up to 80 pounds. And when you compare that price to the Rep Pepins or Power Blocks or even 80-pound Iron Masters, you'll see that's pretty competitive, pretty good. And now it's time for everything I didn't like about these Omnibells. But before we dive in, if you enjoy these honest reviews, then you need to use the links in the description. And I know by the end of today's video, you're probably not going to want to buy these adjustable dumbbells. And in fact, I'm not even going to put my affiliate link for these in the description because I did have a pretty bad experience overall. But if you want to keep these reviews coming and you want to keep them honest, use those links. There's something down there for everybody. It not only helps out the channel, but it does occasionally buy me an energy drink. We're going to ease into what I don't like, and we're going to start off with something that was a nuisance to me, but I don't think it's a deal breaker, and that's assembly. You have to layer in these plates one at a time, and they have to be all facing a specific direction. That doesn't seem too complicated, but the reality is because they will fit in the opposite direction, you may, like yours truly, absolutely screw up the process and not realize it till you've already put in a whole bunch of them and then have to take them out. One of the positives I already mentioned was that you have so many different weight increments, but that's also a negative because when it comes to changing the weight on an adjustable dumbbell, we want it to be faster than fast, and this will take forever. We're gonna do it in real time. This is 5 kilograms. We're gonna go from 11 pounds all the way up to 80 pounds. You let me know in the comments below if you're bored. I mean, this is like when I was 16 and didn't have a girlfriend. This is crazy. There we go, boom, finally 80 pounds. Now I understand 11 to 80 pounds is a pretty big jump, not something that you're typically gonna do. Let's go from 80 down to 65. 63.8. And so there you have it. It's not the end of the world, but it is a little bit of a nuisance. Also, because these basically match up with kilograms, the weight increments are a little off for us Americans. 63.8, 66, 68.2, 70.4. So you can see that's, again, these are a lot of small nuisances, nothing that I would, at this point, call a deal breaker. Speaking of deal breakers, and my major angst against these MOTV8 Omnibells is how the plates are connected. Now, if you're familiar with the nuobells, they have an interlocking system where you get plastic at the top and the bottom, and they kind of come together to interlock. The thing with the nuobells, as well as these MOTV8 Pro and Deca versions, is that because they only have 5-pound increments, that little plastic piece at the top has a lot more plastic. It's got a little bit more bite. It's got a little bit more connection. Because you have so many weight increments, you get a very, very small piece of plastic connecting to another small piece of plastic. When these Omnibells arrived, the boxes were perfectly intact, no damage. They were actually packaged very well in foam. Beautiful packaging, solid. They arrived in one piece, but by the time I finished assembling them, unfortunately, I'd already broken off a few different plastic pieces. And the problem is, once you break off one or two, you can't use these adjustable dumbbells whatsoever. Now, to MOTV8's credit, I'll give them credit, they got a 2-year warranty, and they even say that they have, they'll replace these if they happen to break accidentally. Here's the catch. I called them up and messaged them and told them I had some plates that were broken. Now, they didn't just send me new plates, which would have been like the quick fix, I guess. They sent me So they wanted me to remove these plastic pieces and then screw in these ultra small screws. And I know this camera's not picking it up. Between these two fingers is a screw, and there's two of them, only two of them holding this little plastic piece together. This is one of the broken parts. So, that isn't a tough thing to do. Each plate probably takes like 3 or 4 minutes to do. Not that big of a deal. And to Motiv8's credit, again, they sent this right away and they sent it free. No problems, no fuss, but it is rather annoying. And when you look at those small screws and that small piece of plastic, you can see why these will break with any type of rough use. Now, what kind of rough use do you ask? You can't drop them. That's exactly right. You cannot drop them. It says it on their website. If you read down under the warranty, it says do not drop. They claim that if you drop these even straight down from like 6 or 7 inches, they'll be fine. But you can't drop them at an angle, anything like that, because as soon as you drop them with any type of weight, that force is going to go right through these and just blow out all these little plastic pieces, and you're going to get chips. And the way that they're connected, even a small chip will make them null and void. Now, when we talk about warranty, you're only as good as your customer service. And to Motiv8's credit, they sent me out the plastic pieces right away. I did have a problem with the handle, and I asked for a replacement handle, but they wanted to send me plastic pieces to actually like unscrew these and fix them. And I did try to fix them, but when they put these screws in at the factory overseas, they stripped all of these little micro heads. So I couldn't back these out to save my life. Eventually, after requesting a number of times, they did send me the replacement handle, but it did take a few hoops to jump through. And keep in mind, they know that I'm making this review. They sent these to me for free. I have to imagine if you're a customer, it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult. Before I give you my final thoughts on these Omnibells, I want to just tell you that this is my own opinion. Do not sue me. It's just my own non-professional opinion. You can go online and see tons of other YouTube content creators that absolutely love these things, and they'll tell you their affiliate links in the description. So click on that link as fast as you can, and I will tell you, great. If they love them, perfect. But I guarantee you they didn't do a drop test. They are in no way, shape, or form drop these from the height of a bench at an angle. I can tell you they didn't, because they'd have a whole bunch of broken parts. And if you look at some of the reviews that were done on nuobells, I think Gluck's Gym has probably one of the best ones where he deconstructs the whole thing. He shows how there's so many plastic pieces in here that dropping these over and over again, even at like shallow heights where you're like basically sitting on a bench and just kind of let it go straight down, is eventually going to destroy these little microplastic pieces that are in there, leaving you high and dry. And while you get a 2-year warranty, when I buy a pair of adjustable dumbbells for $650, I want to know that they're going to be around in 10 years or 15 years, if not longer, because I am a frugal, cheap dad. And now it's time. It is time for my final thoughts when it comes to the Motiv8 Omnibells, and there's a ton to like about these and a ton to pull you in. The price, the color options, the fact that they got very inspired by the nuobell designs, the convenience of rotating these around, and the fact that you've got so many different weight options. So if you've got someone younger or your wife working out with these and they want to go up like only 2 pounds, they can. So that's fantastic. I personally think, because of my experience that I had, and it's just my truth, that these are going to be very breakable very easily. And when it comes to adjustable dumbbells in a home gym, while you're not going to be clanging and banging them around like you would at a local gym, you do want to occasionally want to not have to baby them. I wasn't able to do a drop test on these because I knew, for my own opinion, of course, allegedly, that these would break instantaneously.
You're suspect.
I'm so nervous with how these are connected in such small little segments. I don't want to do any exercises that have super fast reps or that are overhead or even over my face, because I'm nervous that one of these plates will kind of jockey out of that locking system and give me a grade 2 concussion. And I'm not looking for any of that. Obviously, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you used this style? Do you think they'll hold up? Is my experience a one-off? Again, don't sue me. It's just my opinion, non-professional at that. I just happen to believe that this is one of those things where you get pulled in by the sizzle, the price, the look, the quickness, and all of the B-roll that they send out to you. And then you end up with no steak. Now, if you are looking for steak, if you want the real deal when it comes to home gym equipment, then check out these 2 videos. As usual, give the video a like, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, and let me know your thoughts. And never save anything for the trip back.
Could we just become best friends?
Yup!